Hey, David Wigan here, 10-minute daily reality check, Tuesday, August 29th. Man, I've been telling you people for a long time. It's a humbling experience when we know that Labor Day weekend is coming. I've been telling you about this the entire year. I keep telling you over and over again. Before you know it, the little Jolly St. Nick is going to be fucking hanging out, and you're going to need to know whether you were naughty or nice. I've told you the entire year that this year is going to fly by faster than any other year before. Why? Because that's what happens. I know right now I want to give a shout out to the people in Houston right now. I have no idea what it's like to have 15 inches of rain in an hour, 40 inches of rain in a day. And after watching a lot of the news and watching the videos, man, that is a humbling experience to have to live somewhere. I mean, you know, being a New Yorker, you know, we had those like fake hurricanes in New York, right? There was that one from a couple of years. Well, the real one that knocked out the L train, Sandy. I mean, Sandy was Sandy was a bitch.
Yeah, and it shut down NYU Hospital, and all the patients needed to be transferred out. That sucked for a lot of people.
Yeah, Sandy was rough. You know, Sandy was definitely a woman PMSing for quite some time, right?
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, the shit in Houston. Have you seen the news on it?
I have. I've heard a lot about it from the people that I'm with that are from Texas, but
it's unreal. I mean, 15 inches of rain in like a 90-minute period. That is a lot of rain.
It's a lot of rain.
That is, you know, do you remember I don't remember when you were a kid, right? My grandmother was this little Jewish bigoted woman, right? You know, Archie Bunker, you know, that type of woman. She used to tell me that when it rained, God was peeing on us. I mean, she was a trip. So that's a lot of urine, okay?
Lots of urine.
And why piss on Texas? I mean, look, granted, okay, you know, Texas thinks they're their own fucking, you know, country and everything else.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, the people I've met from Texas, I've never had any issues with. They seem to have a lot of humility, and even though they've got a lot of arrogance at times, they're really genuinely very nice people. I've enjoyed people from Texas. You know, they're kind. You know, they're about family. They're kind. So Dr. John is back in the house or in the car, wherever this is.
Thank you, David. In the studio.
In the studio. Man, the studio's rolling at times. So we were talking about humility in the work world, humility in the romance world, humility in the dating world. Let's give the definition of today's reality is humility, because I think people need to literally have a intent of the day, a word of the day, a moment of the day. And today's moment will be humility. What is the definition? You went to med school, man.
No, I think humility, forget about med school. They teach you a lot of crap there. But I think humility is just, you know, realizing that you are not the center of the universe.
I like that.
That's it.
I like that. You know, it's so funny because the most unempathetic people that I've run into believe that they're the center of the universe. And they're actually the dumbest people I've ever met, too. You know, and I'm not talking... there's like a self...
They lack insight, I think, is really... That would be the psychiatric term, if you will.
To themselves, right?
Yeah, they lack insight to themselves. Yeah, and quite frankly, and to others in the world around them. But the biggest problem is they lack insight into themselves. They're unable to, you know, grasp and see themselves and see how the world around them, you know, views them. And which makes being humble essentially impossible.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is a woman that I know in the social circle that I run in. And every single person, you know, has read her as a lazy individual, you know, and they even say it. Like I've heard, like I've sat down, like had dinner with a group of people and they're like, oh my God, that's, you know, oh my God, you know, they'll see her walking around. They go, oh my God, that's so-and-so's ex. Oh my God, she's like this lazy person that just does, you know, will not work and tries to live off of men. And every single person has the same viewpoint except for them. I mean, what do they see? And this is something that's really interesting because I'm a humble person. You're a humble person.
I try.
You know, we both try, right? You know, there are times that our ego gets in the way and there are times that we get annoyed and pissed off, right?
It's hard. The ego is a powerful and very difficult thing to fight at times, I think.
Okay, John, but what happens to that person, okay, where everybody in the world sees them for who they are, but they can't see themselves for who they are?
They need therapy.
A lot of them don't. A lot of them are narcissistic. A lot of them, you know, won't go to therapy. A lot of them refuse therapy.
But they still need it.
But they need it. You know, I've always found the least humble people are the people that will always tell you that therapists are stupid. therapists, I don't need therapy. I don't believe in therapy. I studied psychology in college. Oh my God. The amount of people I've run into like that.
That's just totally
They're
ridiculous.
42, 43 years old, right? And they fucking tell you during their undergraduate years when they were smoking pot and consuming too much alcohol that they were a psychology minor, right? During a time in their life from 18 to 21, they were taking down watered down, not even graduate or master's degree level courses where you were actually going and doing things. They were taking, Psych 101, 201, and 301, a bunch of bullshit fucking regurgitated information from somebody who is really just reading a textbook and literally teaching it, and they're telling you that they have everything figured out.
Yeah, I mean, and that's completely ridiculous. Even fully trained psychiatrists, psychologists who've gone through grad school, postgraduate training, and everything else, frequently, part of that training is actually them going to therapy themselves. So,
my girlfriend tells me about her training after, she's got a master's degree and the training she's done on a regular basis to be something called certified, something that, there's certifications that are out there. There's reasons why people take courses in order to learn more. So you're able to handle things. And it's fucking amazing when somebody looks at me and they tell me they don't believe in therapy, right? I always look at them and say, wonderful, okay? You're somebody I never want to be in a relationship with. 2, you're somebody that's got such a big ego that you don't want to be seen. And 3, they're the most fearful person in the world because they're the people that run from therapy because they'll be fully exposed and they'll actually have to see themselves for the way other people see them.
Yeah, I think it all comes back to if you realize you're not the center of the universe, then that is like a jumping off point for, you actually being humble and you realizing how your ego comes and plays a role in your decision making, plays a role in how you treat other people, plays a role in how you handle your professional life, plays a role in how you interact in your relationships. It's this incredibly powerful entity, the ego, that if we can rein in and get some control of and realize that, our little selves, we are not what the world is about. And, whether it's in your professional life where you are not what it's about, I promise, I don't care what you do, it's not about you. In your relationships, if you want to have, I think, a good, meaningful relationship, it can't be about you, it really needs to be about the other person. So it almost doesn't matter where it is in our lives, making it not about you and making it about someone else, something else, the other person, something greater than yourself, whatever it is sort of just what it's all about if you want to be successful.
It's funny, you're not the center of the universe, but yet you can only control your own universe. Which is really interesting. So the fact of the matter is, if you're not the center of the universe and you can only control your own universe, the fact is that you can't really control any fucking thing. The fact is, if you are controlling your own universe, you're bringing people in, okay, that will actually support you and make you grow. And a universe is only working great when there's conflicting viewpoints that you can learn from. And I think people that don't have humility, that aren't humble, they don't want conflicting viewpoints. They want a bunch of minions, literally minions, those little yellow creatures, right?
Yep.
Both have kids, right? They literally want minions running around that are agreeing with them every step of the way, because what minions do is that minions will literally agree with people that everybody else seems to see differently. So the fact is, if you are somebody who has a reputation, why don't you look at, and this is something in today's reality check, fucking ask 10 people what they think about you, honestly. You want some humility today? Ask 10 people what they think about you, and you're going to understand exactly where you need to go from there, because people are really good at seeing what you can't see. And it's such a great way to be humble and have humility, because it's the only way that you're going to grow. The only way you're ever going to grow in life is to have humility. The only way you're ever going to make change or implement change in life is to have humility. And that's what relationships are. If you're a woman or a man and you're dating somebody that's a yes man or a yes woman to you, you're never going to grow. If you're constantly manipulating your children and your children are bowing down to you, they'll eventually rebel against you. You're never going to grow. Look at your friends. Ask your friends for advice. Ask your friends for how you can grow, and get some goddamn fucking therapy, some of you. You need it.
Yeah, therapy in terms of finding insight and actually having self-growth is really where it's at. And the more that you think that you don't need it is probably the more that, you probably need to find somebody. Like tomorrow, pick up the phone, maybe today, maybe right now. It depends on when you're listening to the podcast. And reach out to somebody. Because the more you think that everything's totally fine and your life is great,
Or everybody else is at fault.
or
That's a big thing. Everybody else is at fault.
Or everyone else is to blame for all of your problems. I promise you, everybody else is not to blame. You are responsible for everything in your life. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, it doesn't matter. You can only control your actions and, how you treat other people, the way you approach the world, the effort that you put in. So, the more you feel or like things are going wrong and everything is everybody else's fault, but don't worry, I don't need therapy, the more you should pick up the phone and find somebody for some serious and professional help.
Today's reality brought to you by Dr. John and I, man. It's all about fucking improving your life. You are only as strong as you are going to be, and you're only as smart as humble as you can be. So eat some damn humble pie, get some humility, and also get some help. Because too many of you are walking around pointing the finger and blaming, and that blame game is never going to work great. Anyway, man, Tuesday, August the 29th, welcome to the week before Labor Day. And you know what comes after Labor Day? Halloween. Yeah, that's right. That's where everybody loses their humility and they finally have sex with a total stranger because the costume made them do it. Oh, I can't wait to do podcasts around Halloween. 10-minute daily reality check. Spread it out there, man. We gave you reality for today. Today's word of the day. It's almost like Sesame Street, right? Today's word of the day is, Big Bird, humility, right? See you later.
Humility all the way.
Hey, humility, actually fucking Elmo, the guy who actually did Elmo, he turned out to be a little bit of a child molester. There's humility.
Just a little.
Just a little bit.